The basic movement in platformer games is moving and jumping players. Here is a simple tutorial about player movement. Now let's create a new project. Select the 2D template. The project name will be character movement since we are going to create a moving character. We change the screen view by 2x3 layout so we can separate the scene view and the game view settings. In the game aspect, we are going to select the most game ratio, which is 16:9 aspect game ratio. Let's create a different folder to organize our game asset to be included in the game. Let's create a materials folder, a character folder, and a script folder. Locate your game assets and add them in the Assets tab and place it in the folder where it is designated. Now let's start adding game objects to our game project. Let's add the game background and reset the transform. Let's put the platforms where our character landed. Since the platform is not showing, we are going to adjust the order layer of the background to -1. Let's add more platforms. Each of them has a sprite renderer and add a component of Box Collider 2D. Okay, let's create an empty game object called the player and reset its position, rotation, and scale. Next, we add a component of a sprite renderer to our game object player. Select your character from the sprite folder and drag it to the sprite section under the player game object. Then we adjust the size of our character. To be affected by Unity built-in physics engine, our player needs a Box Collider 2D and a Rigid Body 2D. Let's increase the gravity scale. After that, we set the collision detection to continuous, the sleeping mode to never sleep, and the interpolation to interpolate. And check the freeze rotation Z in the constraints. Let's create another empty game object called player. Adjust the position it to the player's feet. Now, let's create a script where our character can move and jump. Go to the script folder and create a C# script and name it Character Movement. First of all, we need to create 4 private variables. A float for the speed, a float for the jumping force, a float for the horizontal input, and a boolean that indicates whether our player is facing right or left. Next, we need 3 serialized fields to reference the rigid body, ground check, and the ground layer. In the update method, we get the horizontal axis of the character and assign it to the horizontal. In the fix update method, we set the rigid body velocity to the horizontal input multiplied by the speed. Next, let's add a private method called position, where the player faces in its proper direction. Now, we call the position method inside the update method. Let's add another private boolean method called isGrounded, which check the position, the radius, and the layer of the three serialized fields parameter. In these methods, it creates an invisible circle at the player's feet. And when it collides with the ground layer, we are allowed to jump. Now we are done with the script. We need to create a new layer called ground and assign it to every platform. Let's create a basic material 2D and name it friction. And set the friction and bounciness to 0. Once it is done, drag the basic material friction to our player to prevent it from sticking to the platform. Let's add the script to the player and assign the rigid body to the RB and the player check to the ground check and the ground layer to the new layer we created, which is ground. Now let's check if it is working. And here you go, it's working. Good job. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.